Hey everybody, I'm back. So I thought mainly this time I would just talk about me and what's been going on in my life and the reason for my absence. So this is mainly just going to be a personal video blog, but I'm not going to dance around the fact that I'm going to be venting in a lot of this because I just plain need to. And I mean, what else is a personal YouTube channel good for if not to express oneself? But I want to assure you that there's going to be some movie stuff at the end of this, and it won't be too long. And also, I've got a surprise announcement at the end that I'm pretty excited about. So I hope you'll stick around. So here's me venting. As you may or may not know, if you have seen my other stuff, I moved not too long ago from Las Vegas, Nevada, back here to Portland, Oregon. And I knew that the living situation I was moving into was always going to be temporary. I understood that going into it, but I had no idea how true that really was until all of a sudden it was over. And just like that, I had to pack up my entire life again that I had just unpacked. Moving sucks ass. Now, while all of this has been going on, the turmoil going on both sides of my family right now has been overwhelming, to say the least. On my mother's side of the family, all of the focus is on my grandmother, and every conversation now between my mother and I always begins and ends with, what do we do about grandmother's condition getting worse? She has dementia, and it's getting worse and worse, and it's a terrible thing to witness. This brings up, for me, a rather awful truth about growing old that no one ever seems to really talk about, at least not enough. And that is that you don't just grow old and go to Florida or whatever and retire. You die slowly. There are all of these little deaths that can happen, no matter what kind of life you led. I mean, your knees die on you, your back dies on you, your hearing dies on you, your sight dies on you. Everything dies slowly and in stages. Your organs go, and your mind goes. Probably the worst death of all. There are all of these deaths before you die. It's not all just shuffleboard and cruise ships. There's a lot of awfulness to it, and I don't know. Then what's been going on my father's side of the family has been no less awful, if not somewhat pathetically more amusing, I guess. Perhaps that's insensitive to put it that way, but basically while I was living in Vegas, my father started dating this woman. And without going into too much detail, let's just say that the woman he's dating is quite possibly a Black Widow. Now, on top of all of this, the area of Portland that I've moved to is the beautiful Hawthorne district. It's a great place. I believe it's the place where the treaty between hipsters and hippies was first signed, as a matter of fact. But as it turns out, this is not for cable, it's for antenna. And that's right, folks. It's still possible to find an apartment in this world that is antenna ready, but not cable ready. It took 3 appointments spread over 5 weeks with the cable company to get this done. It was crazy. And the thing is that, like, you have to get a letter of permission from the building owner. The building owner has to be there at different stages. Like, they'll come and they'll show up, and then they're like, oh, we can't do this. We've got to have this, this, and this. Well, how do you bring that with you, for God's sakes? And then also, like, how do you coordinate a cable appointment with a building owner? I mean, building owners have schedules they have to keep. A cable appointment is from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Friday. So, in the immortal paraphrased words of David Byrne, you may ask yourself, what does one do with no cable or internet for 5 weeks? The answer surprised even me, because as it turns out, after the withdrawal subsided, of course, quite a lot, actually. I started gardening. I switched from reading blogs to reading actual books. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't believe Oregon's making me take the driver's test again like I'm a fucking child or something. God damn it. I've seen a lot of live comedy. I've seen a lot of live music, too. But mostly I've been watching movies. I've been catching up on some that I've missed. I've been rewatching others that I love and don't necessarily love. In my absence, I've watched so many. I've watched, you know, The Invention of Lying, Brothers, Hurt Locker, which I gotta say, I've watched that one a couple of times now, and you know what? In my humble opinion, that was not Best Picture. I'm not even sure that it deserved to be nominated for Best Picture. I mean, frankly, I think Sigourney Weaver may have had a point about it. I thought that it was trite, it was generically directed and predictable, and I was really disappointed that it got the win, especially since it was such a great year for movies. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Best Picture was a three-way tie between District 9, Up in the Air, and Inglourious Basterds. And if you held a gun to my head and you made me choose, I'd have to say Best Picture was 500 Days of Summer. I mean, hell, Precious was better than Hurt Locker, and I'm never watching Precious again, ever, my entire life. Oh, and speaking of things you can't wash off, I also saw The Human Centipede, and I'm just gonna say this. I kinda liked it. I also watched G.I. Joe, or should I say I tried to watch G.I. Joe. What the fuck? I saw Moon and, you know, Pandorum and Pirate Radio, which was great, and Hot Tub Time Machine and The Losers and Iron Man 2. Oh, and I gotta say, Iron Man 2, the ending was weak. It just was. But of everything I've watched during my exile, if you will, one movie has stood out above all the rest. I saw Primer, and I want you to see Primer. You need to see Primer, because I really want to talk about it. So I'll put up a link. You can watch it tonight for free online. I'll put up a link. See Primer. So it is really great to be up and running again. It's a big relief for me. And thanks for listening to me vent for a little bit about my troubles in life. I appreciate that. Now, as you can probably imagine, I have a fair amount of messages and emails to sort through. Roll tape. Uh-oh. Ooh. Shit. That's a lot. Fuck. So, sorry for the continued delay, but it's gonna have to be like a weekend project, me going through everything, because, yeah, it's a lot. But I did notice, when they were all coming in, that it appears that Confused Matthew has watched and responded to at least part of my 2001 videos. So I am very excited to see what he has to say. Now, in spite of all of this, I have a couple of announcements to make. I'm going to have a short analysis/review of the Coen Brothers' A Serious Man that's going to be published. So I will keep you guys informed on when and how to see that. I may even make a video out of it. So I'm happy about that. And also I'm working to finish a video about Roger Ebert and video games, and I'm wanting that to be next week. I'm planning for that to be next week. And now for the big surprise. I have tickets to see tomorrow night the movie The Room by Tommy Wiseau. And the best part is that Tommy Wiseau is going to be there in person to do a Q&A. So I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna do some recording. I'm gonna see if I can't record the Q&A, at least part of it. And then I'll talk about the film afterwards and upload it as soon as I can. I'll keep you guys posted. All right. Thanks again for watching.